These are top 10 horror movies that were based on real events. Starting it off with an absolute classic, the Wes Craven 1996 film, Scream. Not very many people know this, but back in 1990 there was a man called Danny Rowling, otherwise known as the Gainesville Ripper. He basically terrorised this college and killed 5 students within 4 days. And then later on, it was found out that he was responsible for a triple murder as well.
I'll be right back.
That's freaky.
99 will die. 99 will die.
One of my all-time favourite films, a 2002, The Mothman Prophecy, starring Richard Gere. In 1966 and 1967, in a place called Point Pleasant in West Virginia, baby, there was loads of locals reporting a huge, horrible-looking, dark shadow-like figure with wings. Terrified the whole town. So a journalist of the name of John Keel went to the town, started interviewing people, started documenting things on the idea that it could be something to do with extraterrestrials, UFOs, or other phenomena that we don't understand today.
Hello? Who is this?
What do you do when someone comes into your office and tells you they saw this in their backyard?
He ended up writing a non-fiction book called The Visitors from Space, the astonishing true story of the Mothman Prophecies, otherwise known as the Mothman Prophecies. Now, 25 years later, that book was brought up again and basically made into a movie.
I come back for you later, girlie. Why are you doing this?
Another Wes Craven classic, 1977, The Hills Have Eyes. Nobody really knows for sure, but Shawnee Bean is actually a true story. Folklore says that Shawnee Bean was a leader of a clan, a 48-man clan, that went on to kidnap, kill and eat over 1,000 people. When the locals found out that it was Shawnee Bean, they captured him and brutally executed him. And it was those events in particular that inspired the film of how normal people could turn into savages.
The lucky ones died first.
You spook easily, Starling?
Not yet, sir.
Arguably one of the best horror films of all time, the 1991 Silence of the Lambs. We'll get straight into this one because it's pretty sick. Buffalo Bill, aka Jamie Gum, basically went on a killing spree wanting to find overweight women. The reason why he wanted to find overweight women is because he wanted to kill them, get their skin, and make a woman's suit. The reason he wanted to do that is because he wanted to become his deceased mother.
Thank you, Clarice. Thank you.
However, Buffalo Bill was actually inspired by loads of other different killers, such as Ted Bundy, Jerry Brudos, Gary Ridgway. So basically, a nice man.
I'm scared.
A film that I've never actually seen before, so if you've seen it, please tell me what it's like. 2007, Borderland.
Sacrifice!
Borderland was actually based on true events. This is about a man called Adolfo Constanzo, a Mexican-American drug lord and serial killer. Killed over 12 people just to basically strengthen his clan of people around him, strengthen his name up. He was into rituals and black magic. They called themselves the Narco-Satanists. Nice.
What I need. Screams.
You're going to love this one because it's 100% freaky deaky.
James Brolin, Margot Kidder, Rod Steiger in the Amityville Horror.
The house used to be owned by Ronald Defoe Jr. in Amityville, New York. He went crazy and killed 6 of his family members. The house was later then sold to the Lutz family, and the moment the Lutz family moved in, they reported weird, strange smells in the house, cold spots, noises that they couldn't understand what was going on, paranormal activity, extreme nightmares that you wouldn't believe, like night terrors. Nightmares of the killings that happened from Ronald Defoe Jr. George Lutz used to wake up in the middle of the night at 3:15 with the reoccurring nightmare of the killings happening every single night, over and over and over. And do you know what happened at 3:15? that's when the killings happened. Needless to say, they didn't even pack. They left all of their belongings in the house and never went back.
Oh, Mother of God, I'm coming apart!
1984 Nightmare on Elm Street?
You could just see cuts happening.
What did that, Lieutenant?
I don't know.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you believe in the boogeyman?
No.
If somebody said to me, what is your all-time go-to horror film that messed you up the most and you love, it's going to be Nightmare on Elm Street. Because as a kid, it just messed me right up. But did you know that this could actually be real?
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
In the 1970s, a group of Southeast Asian genocide refugees in the US reportedly were having dreams so vivid they didn't want to fall asleep. Eventually, when some did fall asleep, they died, despite being perfectly healthy.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
It was so strange and nobody knew what to call it. They've never seen it before, so they just called it Asian Death Syndrome. But then later it was called Sudden Unexpected Death Syndrome. So what did these people see in their dreams? Was it Freddy Krueger? Will you see him tonight?
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
¿Y con nosotras? ¿Quieres hablar con alguna de nosotras? ¿Lo has movido tú?
An unexpected gem of a horror film, in my opinion, 2017, Veronica. I really don't like this story because it's about Ouija boards. In my personal opinion, I don't think anybody should mess around with Ouija boards. But the true story goes that this is about a girl called Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro, and she basically did seances in school, and mid-seance using a Ouija board, a nun starts barging in and smashes the Ouija board up into pieces. But the scary thing is, later on, Estefania started having hallucinations and seizures for months, and unfortunately later on died. When the police came in to investigate, they were experiencing paranormal activity, noises in the house, and also Jesus Christ off of the cross on the floor. How strange is that?
No. No estás sola.
A fairly controversial film when it was released, 2005, Wolf Creek.
What do you actually do?
Oh, I can tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Wolf Creek was a film about 3 backpackers exploring beautiful Australia, but unfortunately were kidnapped, tortured, assaulted, and then later killed by Mick Taylor. The film was actually inspired by 2 killers, the first of which was a 1996 Australian man called Ivan Millett that killed 7 backpackers.
He's got you.
And the second murder was called Bradley John Murdoch. In 2001, he killed a British backpacker called Peter Falconio. In fact, the courts actually delayed the release of the film Wolf Creek.
I'm a pervert, an exhibitionist, masturbator, and a killer.
Warning, this last one's really quite disturbing, but I thought I'd go out with a bang. 2002, Demure. This film is a biopic, and it's about a man called Jeffrey Demure, who sexually assaulted,
An exhibitionist.
murdered, dismembered, and in some cases consumed 17 males.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
The events happened between 1978 and 1991 in Wisconsin, and the film has an accurate representation of the events that actually happened.
Not his friend. He told me so.
Now, this is my goddamn box. I want to see what's inside of it.
So there you go, top 10 horror films that you didn't know were actually real. And if you do like paranormal and anything else freaky deaky, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.
Get the merch at Caspersight.com. Just Rambo it.